Remember the days of the radio dial? If you wanted to switch a station, you didn't push a button, you rotated a knob, physically searching the frequencies for the station you wanted to listen to. You would inch your way along the dial, meticulously seeking the perfect frequency. Or in some cases, if you wanted to go from 82.9 to 107.3, you could just give it a big spin and hopefully it would make its way all the way down. The problem with that was you couldn't always land exactly where you wanted. So you had to adjust the dial to get the exact frequency of your station. When it comes to public speaking, our belief systems are a lot like that radio dial. When we think about how we want to come across, and if we're fearful, it can stop us and keep that static going. I remember when I was new to the business world, and one of my very first jobs, I learned that part of my role was going to be presenting on a very regular basis to employee groups and supervisor groups about how to use our service. And I can remember sitting in the back of the room watching my boss taking copious notes about everything she was doing so I could learn to present flawlessly just like she was. The good news is I mastered that, but at the time, I was pretty fearful and there was a lot of static in my head about whether or not I could accomplish this task. What I learned was that internal story only makes matters worse. That internal static, that constant negative voice that a lot of us deal with every day. So perhaps you've had that same static, that knot in your stomach, the racing thoughts, the fear of freezing on stage. Many professionals struggle with public speaking anxiety. And it's partly because we create this narrative in our heads about whether or not we can't do it. It's our belief system that holds us back. So just like finding a clear radio signal, building confidence in public speaking requires consistent effort and small changes over time. In other words, you have to practice and practice some more and adjust every time you do it. So, first of all, I want you to acknowledge the static. Recognize that it's our limiting beliefs that hold us back. When you say things to yourself like, I'm not good enough, I could never do this, you probably won't. So change that thought process, change the language that's going on in here that you're listening to I've got this. I'm learning, I'm growing. I am doing the best that I can do with the resources that I have at this time. And then small twists, just like fine tuning that radio station. Instead of aiming for a perfect presentation, because frankly, there is no such thing, focused on small, manageable steps. Practice speaking in front of a mirror. Practice on your phone. Practice in front of your computer camera. Record a live on Facebook that only you can see. It doesn't matter the technology or the tools you use. What matters is that you're willing to take the steps, you're willing to do the work, you're willing to put in the reps to make it happen. And it's consistent tuning. So just like that clear radio signal, building a new belief system, building new language around what you believe you can do takes consistent effort. In my case, back to the story I was telling earlier, it was delivering parts of that workshop and then another part of that workshop until I was able to deliver the entire 2-hour presentation without any help from anyone else. But it was that little bit at a time, segmented learning that really helped. And then listen for clarity. When you think about those small adjustments, you will start to hear a clearer signal. You'll begin to see your progress, you'll grow, your confidence will grow. And just like I eventually did, you'll find you can deliver a flawless or close to flawless presentation. Because again, it's remembering done is better than perfect. Building a story of power and encouragement is not about a sudden dramatic movement. It is about the little things that we accomplish over time. It's a lot like the idea of compound interest. When you put $1 in the bank today and you put $1 tomorrow and you put $1 the next day, you earn interest on those small incremental changes. Those deposits will pay off in the long run. And that's what we have to remember. We've got to take small steps toward success. So if the fear of public speaking is holding you back, remember it's a lot like tuning into that radio dial. It's getting your belief system to fine tune and know that you can do it. And if you need some help changing your belief system, let's have a conversation, because that is the work that I do with my clients. I call it summoning your inner champion. It really doesn't matter what you call it, but it's about the language that you use on a consistent basis to encourage yourself to take the next step and move forward in your journey. Of course, if you know somebody that could benefit from listening to this video, please share that. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel so you get the weekly videos. See you next time.